안녕하세요. 제가 이거 Hi everybody. I've never done this before. 그래서 세팅하는데 너무 오래 걸렸어요. Can you hear me? Can you 잘 들리시나요? 아. 음. 감사합니다. 보리가 보이게 하고 싶었는데 my dog 보리. 어. 저 지금 I did not know that people were actually going to come. Thank you so much for coming. Ah! Okay. Wow. So, and thank you for responding. This is actually I might cry. Wow. I really thought that I was going to have a very calm breakfast alone. Um, okay. How is everyone doing? Is it hot where you are? Because I thought the weather was going to be really nice. It was until like I hit live, and now I am really hot. 70. Wow. Ah, okay. Can I know I'm speaking in English. I'm wondering if there are Koreans um in the live in the crowd. 한국인 분들도 계신가요? 그러면 한국인 분들 계신구나. 알겠습니다. 너무 들어와 주셔서 감사합니다. 한국인 분들이 영어를 하실 수 Yeah, you can speak English, someone said. 감사합니다. 10명이나 들어오셨어요. 왜 오신 거예요? I can't believe there's 10 people. Yes, I'm in Korea right now. This is I live in the countryside. So this is me in my front porch with my dog. I wanted to have a better view. Maybe I can still. But I really failed to set up my camera in an aesthetically pleasing way this morning. Okay. I want to show you what I'm eating for breakfast. I have my fruits. This morning, I did an olive oil and lemon shot. I don't know, it's very viral. So I did that. I went on a run. I swam, showered, and I'm here. I have my pumpkin soup and my sandwich. It's my breakfast. Seohyun. I know. I didn't think this was going to be a mukbang, but I guess so. Oh, can't forget my drink. This is soy milk made from home with black soy beans and sesame seeds. It's good for hair growth. And I'm in my 30s, so Gotta keep my hair. It actually is not that delicious. It's, actually, kind of painful to drink. Sometimes it's good, but it's very thick, so yeah. I'm used to it, but if I have guests at home, I don't offer them this drink. It's it's, um it's black sesame seeds and black beans. I have this machine that makes soy milk. So you put the beans in overnight, you soak it in water, and then it like blends it and turns it into soy milk. So it's like homemade soy milk. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have regular milk. Red bean. Sorry, there was a bee on my knee. Red bean, I'm like a health freak. And there's this like Eastern medicine thing where there's like I think 8 different types of like blood circulation and like your type. And apparently I'm very like cold-blooded. So and red bean you eat in the summer to like cool you down because it has properties that like cool you down. And so red bean apparently is not that good for me because I'm already very cold-blooded. So I love red bean, but I try not to drink it too much or eat it too much. But yeah, I'm not like very intricate with my cooking, but I like to stay healthy and simple and farm to table. A lot of yeah, I have a garden in the backyard. Um that I try to grow things from. I'm not very successful, but I try. Mm, food scientist turned mental health counselor. Wow, that's amazing. And I would love to have a long conversation with you because I'm a mental health counselor and I'm very interested in like using food in my work. I really my lifelong dream is to open a therapy restaurant when I'm retired and just like cook for people, chat with them while I cook, eat, chat. Yeah, that'd be a dream. And like make enough living out of that, which sounds impossible, but you know, maybe I'll have enough money when I'm retired so that I can do that. There's a big, big B. Food manufacturing, where we hire people who have behavioral health challenges. I really think like when you touch food, smell food, like it's a very sensual, like, no, that's not the right word. Sensory experience. And so, yeah, and I do think that it's very like mindful to and calming to like just engage in the act of cooking and eating. I like the way that it activates my brain in a way that like nothing else can. I don't know. And like it being nourishing is so healing in itself. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if in my past life I was starved because I care so much about being nourished through food. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never starved in this lifetime, so, like, why do I care so much about that? I don't know. I love that. Yeah. Dave's Killer Bread. He hired previous incarcerated persons. I have to try. Ah, one of the things that I'm sad about being in Korea is, like, not being able to try all the new things coming out in the States. Korea has amazing food, so I have things I can try here, but yeah. But if I can get my hands on it, I'll try Dave's Killer Bread. Second chance. I love that. Mm. Thank you. Thank you for reclaiming the word sensual. No! Really? Dave's Killer Bread is no longer the dream? Oh, that's sad. Capitalism. Um, 음. 한국 분들한테 제가 이거 제가 만든 두유라고 말했고요. 말 엄청 많이 했는데 무슨 말했죠 또? 이해 안 되시는 거 있으면 말씀해 주세요. 테라피 레스토랑 열고 싶다는 얘기도 했는데. 음. 아, okay. I'm gonna start mukbanging a little bit because it's 10:20 and we forgot napkins. And I got lunch to eat, and this is just brunch, so I have a lunch I have a lunch date with my mom, so I have to stay hungry for lunch. So this is pumpkin carrot soup. Very hit or miss the consistency of my soups. Sometimes it can be very watery, sometimes too thick, and then I have to put water in it. Today, it feels like I should drink it. So, how does Asian culture deal with picky eaters? So, for me, this is not the case anymore, but when I was growing up, at school, we had school lunches, and school lunches in Korea are really nice. I think it's one of those, like, Instagram viral things because, um, it's they have, like, a nutritionist who cares about, like, serving a balanced meal, and they give out, like, the menu for the month to the parents, and so, you can, like, complain if the food's bad and, they care about the food. And then you actually have to finish everything that's served to you. So growing up, like, my parents didn't force feed me stuff because I would, like, throw up if I was, force fed things that I didn't want to eat. So my mom was very careful not to force feed me stuff. But at school, I had to be force fed because it was the rules to, like, finish everything on the plate. So I think that helped me not become a picky eater. But I think that's no longer the case where, like, schools are not allowed to force feed their students anymore. Um, and, like, you could get away with things, like, I remember I had deals with my friends where, like, if they ate something that I didn't wanna eat, then I would eat something that they didn't wanna eat, or, like, I would give them something, like, that they wanted to eat more of. So, I think it was fine. I wasn't, like, hurt or traumatized by being force-fed at school, 'cause there are ways to get around it if you, like, wanted to. I think it built strength in me. But being force-fed at home, I think that's another story. Because I think if my mom force-fed me, that would've made an impact maybe on me, but, um, yeah, that's really interesting though. Because I don't know, I haven't met that many Korean people who are, like, picky eaters to the point where it, like, feels picky. Like, "Oh, I can't eat this," is different from, like, I don't know, like, "Oh, this is too salty, so I'm not going to eat it," or something like that. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I think at the time when I was a kid, I hated it. I remember even, like, putting some food I didn't wanna eat in my mouth and, like, getting my tray checked and, like, passing and then, like, running to the bathroom and, like, spitting it out. So, yeah, I don't think the teachers were, like, that forceful. Like, they probably knew that I was holding food in my mouth to go throw out, but vegetables, vegetables and beans. Yeah. Also, I think I didn't like vegetables in my 20s, and then I was like, "Oh, actually, all these vegetables taste amazing," in my 30s. I don't know why. I don't know. My body maybe craves it because it's healthier. Who knows? But even like okra, I hated that texture. But then I grew older and I was like, "Oh, this is actually not bad." So, I don't know. Yeah, and like broccoli, I didn't used to like it, now I do. Yeah. I don't think I'm made to eat on camera. This is I'm not doing a very good job. Oh, I just found a new function. So because my YouTube is setting is English, all the comments were in showing up in English for me, but I can put my mouse over it and it shows me in the original language. 맞아요. 자극 자극적인 거에 질려서 질린 게 아니고 전 안 질렸거든요. 근데 먹으면 배 아파서 며칠을 고생하니까 못 먹어요. 야 갈아서 마시고 당근 사과 코코넛 워터 너무 맛있겠다. 음. 음. Yeah. I used to be apparently my brother told me that I used to love spicy food, so I would order 엽떡, which is like this crazy spicy Korean food, like tteokbokki, rice cake in chili paste. Um, and I would eat it if I was stressed, which I don't remember doing at all because I can't imagine myself eating 엽떡 now. But he said in high school I used to do that as like a coping mechanism when I was stressed. And then I asked my mom and she confirmed it. 맞아. 진짜 그랬대요. 근데 지금은 if I ate 엽떡 now, like I think I would take like a week to recover. 진짜. 하루만 힘들 것 같지 않아요? 진짜. 한 일주일 힘들 것 같아요. 그러니깐요. 음. Recently, um, I had the my first interview of the episode this new season was with like Saju person, which is like Korean astrology person. So I've been very interested in Saju, and apparently, the stars are saying that one of my weakness is health. So I'm like, "Oh, is that why I'm, like, very interested in it? Because 'Cause I'm not that healthy and I need to, like, compensate? I don't know." Oh. Yeah, well, personal trainer said that even if you it doesn't release the hormones that it did in the in your 20s. That's crazy. 대박인데요? So your body can tell cheap dopamine from lasting dopamine. 아. 음. 제가 맨날 센 척하고 운동 열심히 하고 막 이랬는데 좀 뭔가 알고 보니까 '내가 연약해서 이렇게 열심히 몸 관리를 하나?' 이런 생각을 했어요. 음. Oh, this is so fun that I can read in the original language. 아무튼 can you guys hear me chew if I chew? I wanna try. I think I picked the wrong foods to do a mukbang. Not really. Got it. I think I have a setting on my microphone too, because there's a lot of like bird sounds and like cicada sounds. That's what they're called, right? 매미? 영어로 cica다죠. Yeah, there's a lot of cicadas in Korea, and I was hoping the mic wouldn't catch all that sound. You can hear the cicadas, but not my chewing. Got it. 아, 너무 죄송하네요. 많이 부족합니다. 아, 미국의 썰케이다 한국처럼은 없는 것 같아요. 그리고 제가 사는 동네에는 없었어요. 저는 캘리포니아에 10년 있었는데 캘리포니아에는 없고 그 동부 쪽에 막 워싱턴 막 메릴랜드 이쪽 가면은 좀 습하고 이래서 한국이랑 되게 비슷한 그런 환경은 있는 것 같아요, 매미가. Yeah. Yeah. Nice ambience. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes when I even record my videos, I think the bird sounds are nice. I'm always split. But then it catches all the other sounds too if I like let the background noise come in. I don't know. I'm very thankful for everyone who watches my poorly made videos. Aw, you do? Okay. 음. 제가 방금 한국말을 했는지 영어로 했는지 까먹고 있어요. I'm, like, forgetting in what language I said what. But it seems like everyone understands a little bit of both. So 감사합니다. 노력할게요. 오늘 정말 근데 저는 그냥 사실 I had a meeting with a business partner of my sister who kind of almost dared me to do a live because he wanted to do business. He wanted to involve me in their business. And he was like, I think we should take advantage of your ability to speak because, like, when he watches my videos, he says that, like, I don't know, I can speak. And so he was like, you have to go and do a live and do it live instead of having a prompt that you follow that you like prepare in advance. And he was like, I think you're not doing a live because you're scared. And so honestly, I was doing this just to like, break out of my fear, which is like my life's motto is to do things that I'm scared of. But yeah, the support that I'm getting is crazy. So thank you. Wow. Okay. Mm. Don't be afraid of being afraid. I know I want to like be my fear's best friend. Like always have my fear as my co-pilot in life. Maybe my fear will start to collaborate with me instead of being such a downer all the time or like I don't know, aggressively cause me so much anxiety. Mm, adjacent to excitement. Yeah. Mm, draw my fear, then take it with me. That's so interesting. Yeah. I really wish that I just thought about like what my fear would look like. And I really wish that it were a girl, but I think it's a guy. Like it looks like a guy. And I really wish that it looked like me. But I don't know. My first thought was like a scary looking guy. Hmm. Yeah. I had a topic that I thought about a couple topics that I wanted to ask people about. Um, I had a question that I've been sitting with for like almost more than a year, but so I wanted to ask people about it on the live. But I wanted to ask like what people think about the idea of like missing someone. I'm gonna look up the word in English. Yearning. Ah, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yearning. Yeah. Longing, yearning, nostalgia, miss. These are the words. But in Korean, it was 그리움. And I have so many tabs. I can't find you guys anymore, okay? um yeah, I wanted to ask like what people thought about this idea of yearning. Like if you yearn for someone, is that part of the love or is that different from love? Cuz I always thought of love as like relational, but yearning is almost like you're doing it alone. So then in a way it feels very different. But if I were to live alone on an island, like yearning would be the only kind of thing that would keep me going. So it's also like life giving in a way, which I think love is also. Mm, mm. Love is a verb. Yearning is not a verb, independent of love. Dopamine depending on the severity. Because I see online, like, I don't know, people these days, like a lot of Gen Zs aren't dating, like a lot of women in their 30s aren't dating. And like, but there are other types of love that we engage in. And I don't, and I feel like a lot of people yearn for something. And like, I'm wondering if that yearning can replace or, I don't know, take some kind of form that's like as functional as dating. Because when I see a lot of young people or a lot of women like not dating, I don't see it as a bad thing. Like I see it as like our times are changing where we're valuing, ourselves and our growth. So then as these people focus on growth and hold a piece of yearning in our hearts, like, yeah, it almost feels like, I don't know, someone said dopamine, but like, yeah, like dating feels like an activity where you can stop yearning. But then when you're alone, you get to like sit with the yearning. And I wonder what happens when you sit with that yearning for a long time. Like, do you just get to a point where you start then participate in the activity of dating or loving someone? Like, or does the yearning go somewhere and like turn into something? I don't know. Yeah, these are my thoughts after a year of or longer of having come up with this question. Hmm. Sat with it and overcame unhealthy attachment. How? So the yearning turned into like a form of prioritizing the self and learning about the self and growth. Mm. Once said, way of tuning into the people around you. Ah, yeah. Yeah. My immediate like thought was like, yeah, but what if the people around you aren't like hitting the spot with the yearning that you have? But I think when I meditate and I get to a place of like realizing the things that I'm grateful for, that like when I'm not meditating, I couldn't tap into how grateful I was for those things. Like that makes sense. Like you can really tune in. Mm, longing stemming from that current situation is unsatisfactory, incomplete. I don't know. Like, I think there's truth to that, but also like when my grandmother passed away and I was longing for her a lot, like it wasn't that it was unsatisfactory. But yeah, it did feel incomplete, my life. And I guess yeah, like my needs weren't being met because she was very, as we move through grieving is now. Hmm. Incomplete is not. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's exactly why I've been sitting with this for so long. Because, like, I can't make up my mind to decide if it's like a good positive thing or a negative thing, like a good thing or a bad thing. But because I have a tendency to like want to put it in a box. But I think if I'm sitting with it without judging it, it is both. Like, yes, maybe there is a sense that there is something incomplete and missing. And there's a sense of like appreciating what it was and what can be, and the hope and the beauty within whatever great thing that it was. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Oh my gosh. There's a mosquito and it had like black and white tips. Do mosquitoes have that usually? Oh my gosh. Anyway, direct appreciation of something that is lacking is also, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I had something crunchy. Wow, it's a bug on my apple. Okay. Not as you as I hoped it to be. I took the bug off of my apple. It was on my finger, and then I put it back on my apple. But then I took it off again. Yay! 아, 다행이에요. 다음번에는 바삭거리는 음식들로 가져와 보겠습니다. I will make sure to have crunchy, sound-oriented foods next time. This is so fun. I've been doing a meditation class for the past 3 days. And um and when we have like 5 minutes left, in 5 minutes, I wanted to do a meditation exercise with you that I learned a couple days ago. Apparently, it's a meditation that you do at the end of the day before you enter your home to like get rid of all the emotions and judgments, even positive ones, before you enter home to like separate your house from the world of noise. I don't know if I'm going, yeah, if I'll teach it, but teach it well, but I'll try. Oh, my camera's up there. I thought it was on my computer. I did teach a mindfulness class when I was doing my doctorate program to high school students. That was so fun. I miss working with students. So When I first started doing psychology, studying psychology in undergrad, I worked with, like, little kids, like 4-year-olds, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought I loved kids, but 4-year-olds are crazy." So I, like, didn't wanna work with 4-year-olds anymore, and then I did my doctorate. My research was very, like, oriented in, like, social justice and, like, um I don't know if you can hear the plane. I would trust that the plane yeah, that my mic is filtering out the plane, but since you can hear the cicadas, I doubt it's filtering out the plane. Mm, these grapes don't have seeds. Oh, that's good. There's filtering it out more than the insects. 'Cause the insect sounds aren't annoying. The plane sound is very annoying. But yeah. Yeah, so then I worked with 4-year-olds. Then during my doctorate, I worked with adults and then with high school kids and then with adults and, like, young adults, and I think I really, liked working with young adults and adolescents. And then I went into, like, outpatient work, and then then you're kind of not the age range you don't really have control over, so it was, like, mostly adults. But then I did, like, early psychosis specialty. That was my specialty for the longest time, um, because when you have chronic psychosis, the work it the prognosis is not as great, um, when you can provide treatment during, like, the first couple episodes. So early psychosis, it's like its own thing compared to just psychosis in general, because there's actually a really high chance, like 70-80% of people who receive early psychosis care actually don't have psychosis for the rest of their lives. They're like, cured. So, yeah, it's a very, like, niche area, but that's very, like, separate even from chronic psychosis. And I loved working with that population because it's like night and day, You go from people whose, like, family systems and, like, what they expected of their life and everything just kind of, like, crumbling because they're experiencing something so traumatic. And then you get to do long-term work, like, 2, 3 years of, like, reestablishing the family system and, like, and people do a lot of self-work in that time because all the shit comes up. Like, all the shit that was already kind of, like, difficult and maybe not in the best shape that it could have been, like, within the family system. Like, a lot of those things come up to the surface when you have something like psychosis hit the fan. So, yeah, I really love that work. And then but then I got burned out because of the system itself, not the work, but, like, just big corporations and yeah. Yeah. So then then I came to Korea, and now I think I'm, like, working with people who it's essentially the same kind of work, I think, 'Cause I think psychosis is like a very expressive, imaginative, creative way of expressing your symptoms, whereas a lot of times people express it like somatically or, through depression, anxiety. Um, yeah. In terms of like the approach, I think it's very similar. But I think psychosis is so, I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing it, but in a way, I think expressive is the word that comes to my mind. It is really scary. Yeah. And like having support system versus not having support system is makes such a huge difference, and I think that's even more scary about it because the power of having support can like change someone's life trajectory so much that it's scary. There's this like study, they tracked the like the delusional visualizations and like the delusions basically of people with psychosis in like the US, Kenya, and India. And because and the people who like the ones living in the US, like because the society thinks people with psychosis are like dangerous, their delusions very much reflect that. So then they have very dangerous delusions where like the god that they see is like the devil. Whereas like in other countries where it was very much like community based and ones who experienced psychosis weren't like pushed out of the community but like taken care of by the community, they experienced higher power that they were seeing as like a helpful god, um and like a positive experience. And I think that is the scary part, and that I think that's what burned me out the most. Not even like the work, but like how it was such a reflection of the world that we live in and like the systems that made it so much worse and violent. Yeah. Question from left field. I love that. Possible to change attachment style through therapy? Of course. How else? Well, I guess you can work on your attachment style by like being building new attachments with people in real life. But I think a lot of therapists help you build new attachment with them if they're relational. Even if they're not relational, I think therapy would help you like have insight about your attachment style and like if you are dating someone or like in a relationship where you can practice your attachment style, like then you can bring those issues up in therapy and like talk about it and try different things and see how it felt and like learn to like cope with your anxiety that comes with a certain attachment style or your belief systems that cause that attachment style. um but I think for me, I'm a relational therapist, so I would love to build, you know, and provide a corrective experience where Like, yeah, like you learn to build attachment in a way where your needs are met. Um, and you can practice like in vivo in therapy how to communicate your needs, have your needs be met, have it not be met, um, experience anxiety, all those things. Low grade psychosis, what's that? Like psychosis that doesn't affect your day to day life or functioning? Oh my gosh, it's 11. I guess I started late because I was struggling with my camera. Um, but yes, let's do a meditation and call it a day. I can't believe y'all stayed. Oh, my old dog's readjusting. Um, Low grade psychosis. Sorry, I'm going to answer that. I don't know what low grade psychosis means, but okay. Low, like, was the first person to be the Lulu to go into space. Oh, like, low grade psychosis meaning you're like lying to yourself to like believe something that feels unrealistic, like you can go to this moon. I don't think that's psychotic. Yeah, because I think having self like believing in something for the self and like aiming high is different from yeah, having psychosis. Also, in terms of like being diagnosed with anything, there's there's a book of diagnosis called the DSM-5. And if you want to get like very clinical, always one of the criteria needs that you must meet in order to diagnose someone is that they have to have like a functional impairment. And so, like, if your delusions or high self belief or goals, um, if it's affecting you from like socializing or with other people or like getting your work done, um, then like maybe there is a need for concern. But if that's not the case, then like, yeah, then it's not diagnosable. So, yeah. Um, yeah. I think normal crazy is good. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess quite quick meditation. I invite you to take a comfortable position with your feet flat on the ground, your hands falling wherever they fall, and just take a couple long breaths to help you relax. I invite you to close your eyes if you would like, if that feels comfortable to you. Just a couple more long breaths. Invite you to do a quick scan of your body, starting from your feet, relaxing different parts of your body, making sure to tend to the muscles that usually you forget about. Allow your attention to move up your legs, to your thighs, and your stomach, to your arms, to your torso, fingers, shoulders. Relax your neck and your head and your facial muscles, the space in between your eyes, your jaw. I'm going to invite you to imagine a black cloud coming out of your back. And in that black cloud is all the emotions you felt throughout the day. When you first light a log that's a little bit damp until it really catches on fire, it smokes a lot. And that's the smoke that I want you to imagine coming out of your back. Maybe your whole body, whichever feels more natural to you. All the tiredness from the day, all the excitement, all the frustration, the stress, everything kind of burning away. Now I'm going to invite you to imagine a big light in front of you and the energy from that light entering your body from the front. And you're absorbing all of that energy and light and filling your body. Let the light seep into every muscle in your body, even the ones that you've forgotten about, like the space between your toes. Imagine the light hitting every little space between your hair follicles, seeping into the space behind your eyes. And the light forming its brightest point in your heart. Let that light shine from within your heart now, in all directions outside of you. And as you spend time for yourself tonight or today, I hope you remember the light that's inside of you that shines. I invite you to bring your awareness back to the room whenever you're ready. And thank you for coming to eat brunch with me today. And thank you for supporting me and feeling energy with me. Ah. Okay. Bye, everybody.